What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we have got something new and something interesting for you. Today we're going to be talking about the most innovative gun of 2023, the Glock 49. Now the G49 is the brand new pistol from Glock, and it's full of controversy, and through this video I'll tell you the controversy, and on top of that I'm going to tell you my personal opinion on the gun. I wasn't sent this pistol. I bought this gun for review, and I bought it from the patron dollars, and I really appreciate you patron supporters sponsoring the videos. I really appreciate you guys helping me run the channel, and because of that we try to give you our honest opinions. We try to give you factual data that we test. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. Just go to the link in the description. Also in that description is the link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could really use your help, so please donate those kids. And then finally, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Sonoran Desert Institute. The SDI has been a sponsor of our channel for a long time, and we really appreciate them. They are a firearm education university, and if you want to get an education in firearm technology, if you want to become a gunsmith, maybe a drone operator, or any really cool job that you can actually get paid to do that seems like a fun time on the weekends, you can go to the Sonoran Desert Institute and you can learn a good craft. If you want a cool career and you want to have lots of fun, you want to make some money in your life, check out the Sonoran Desert Institute. Now, the Glock 49 is a polymer framed pistol with a striker fired action with a 4.5-inch slide and a 15 round grip. Very similar to a Glock 19 mixed with a Glock 17, because that's exactly what it is. We've had this pistol for a week or so, and we've been shooting it. Now, we normally do a first shots, but I'm doing a different style of video because I have a hole in my eardrum and it's difficult for me to shoot unsuppressed. So we had my wife go out and shoot a couple hundred rounds unsuppressed. She's a very knowledgeable shooter. And then I obviously shot this suppressed with subsonic ammo. It functioned just fine. I was actually pretty impressed because sometimes Glocks have issues with suppressors, but this one didn't. It was great. We actually threw the new RMR on it as well. Not the new RMR, so it's an old RMR, but it's got the new Radian RMR plate on it, which is one of the things I think the gun should have came with in the first place. The optics mounting systems on the Glock have been dated since they were released, and there's a lot of people with aftermarket options that are just simply better, stronger, and more rigid. And this one's actually even lighter as well, and it comes with a shield on there in case you somehow manage to break your RMR. You definitely fucking can't now. So I do like the gun, don't get me wrong, but I do have some problems with it as far as its innovation, which we'll get to in a second. Now, how did it perform? We shot 500 rounds through it, and we did see one malfunction, but that was totally caused by the suppressor, and I didn't change the recoil spring, and we were using subsonic ammo. Other than that one malfunction, the gun ran great completely throughout the entire 500 rounds, unsuppressed and suppressed, which is pretty excellent. That's kind of what I expect from a Glock, and it is a step up from what I got with my Glock 19 earlier this year, which had several failures right out of the gate, which did kind of suck. Oh, we had a Glock failure.
Uh-oh.
Well.
Oh.
Okay. Got stuck on the ejector. Just stuck there. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life?
I mean, I don't think I have.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
Considering that's what you're buying. You're trying to buy the most durable, reliable pistol ever, so the damn thing should be reliable, right? It's kind of like buying a fucking Corvette and it only goes 15 miles an hour. You're not that excited. The accuracy of the pistol was okay. As far as Glock ergonomics, not much has changed. We have some slide serrations, which we didn't have on the Gen 4s. We have the same sights that we've had since 153 years ago when pistols were invented. We have the Glock accessory rail, which is okay. And this one is obviously a 19 frame with a 17 slide. That's why the slide hangs over the dust cover a little bit more, because if they put a 17 dust cover on there, it looked like it had an erection when you had the 19 on there. So I'm glad that they went it that way. Trigger guard's the same, undercut's the same, slide release is the same, magazine release is the same. We do have ambi controls and a swappable slide release, so if you're a lefty, you definitely can convert it to your evil ways. The gun itself is in all aspects a Glock. Nothing has changed other than they made the slide longer, and they put a different number on it. And that is kind of where we're going to get into my issues. It was reliable, it was accurate, but it's the same old, same old. If you're unaware of what Glock is, that's hard to believe, but they are striker fired polymer frame pistols, and they have been kind of the go-to for law enforcement, military, and civilians for a long, long time. They are the gun that finally supplanted the 1911 in most people's minds. Not mine, I love the 1911, and how dare you if you think that way. But either way, this kind of took over the single stack, single action, double action guns, kind of put to bed like the 226, the Beretta M9, and most people today are running some form of Glock style pistol, whether that be an M&P, a CZ, XYZ or the classic Glock. They were really the first well-known and popular striker-fired polymer frame pistol, and the big hit originally was the Glock 17, and that had the 4.5-inch barrel with a full 17-round magazine, a full-size duty handgun. Then the one that really changed the world was the Glock 19, where it came out and it was a compact version of the same reliable, durable, cheap gun that the Glock 17 was. And this one, I don't know if it was designed specifically for concealed carry, but it really changed the concealed carry game and upped concealed carry to new heights. And the reason for that is because you get a good capacity, 15 rounds, you get a solid, durable, reliable gun in the striker-fired action that has the same trigger pull every time, which allows new shooters or advanced shooters to be very good with these handguns. They're lightweight, somewhere around the 21-ounce category, again with decent sights, a decent trigger, and they just do everything pretty well. And that was one of the first handguns to ever do that, which is why the Glock 19 is still riding pretty high today. Now Glock thought of themselves and they're like, man, what can we do to revolutionize the pistol game? We already have the 17, we already have the 19, let's make the 47? Now this is the Glock 47, and it was Glock's newest innovative pistol, where they decreased some of the features that you had and allowed the slides to be interchangeable between the 17, 19, 47, and 45, making it extremely confusing, I guess, because I feel like all the pistols should be slide compatible like most other handguns. Now we have a 4-inch handgun with a long grip, and now that is the Glock 45, and that's also the Glock 19X. They have the short slide with the long grip, and now the 47, for the first time, you could have both slides. Well, Glock thought, man, how do I sell a few more pistols? Well, they introduced the Glock 49. And the Glock 49 is just the opposite of the Glock 47, essentially, whereas it now has the short frame with the longer slide, but you still can put these shorter slides on there. Now, don't get me wrong, that is definitely an upgrade and a feature that people, or at least very few people, were looking for, because back in the day, if you like checked out the forums or whatever, there was a whole bunch of Glock 17s that people cut the grip off, and the reason why they cut the grip off was because they like less capacity. No, I'm kidding. They like less printing. Oftentimes the grip is the most noticeable portion of the firearm. See, I'm carrying an appendix right here, and this is resting on my junk there. You can see that this will be pushing up my t-shirt, and the less of that you have, the less people see your gun. So if you were carrying a gun with a larger grip and a larger capacity and an easier to shoot gun, you would also decrease your concealability. So they wanted people to have the option to have more sight radius and more expansion while having a shorter grip, which is cool, I guess. I don't really understand why you would carry a gun in this configuration. Me personally, I like the expansion, I like the sight radius, but most people carry a dot these days, and the sight radius isn't really necessary. And on top of that, a 1/2 inch of expansion or a 1/2 inch of increase in velocity on your hollow points or just your regular rounds is probably not enough to really merit anything. And the reason why I say that is because there's probably a bigger difference round to round in the box of ammunition, let alone types of ammunition that have higher or lower velocities than a 1/2 inch of barrel can get you. I would imagine you can get this same increase in velocity just simply by finding a better ammo type. Now, if you really want that, that's totally fine, because the longer slide also decreases a little recoil, so you do get something for your money. You do get something for the longer slide, but not much. And I think that's probably why the most popular pistol in history is still the Glock 19, because it has a shorter slide and it's just easier to carry and it doesn't bother you quite as much. And you basically still get the exact same capability, like at least 99.9% of it. So I don't really feel like this was much of an upgrade, personally, for me. And maybe it's because I have been getting out of Glock for the last few years, just simply because of their failure to innovate, and the fact that you called a feature on a firearm something you should have already done in the first place, really. And on top of that, you gave it a whole new number to give it a whole new marketing campaign. Just really doesn't spark my interest to buy and keep this gun and tell everybody to go get it, because I guess I just don't see a reason. Just like the 380 that came out last year, and just like the Glock 47, I just really don't see a reason to not only buy them over your 19 and 17, which most people already have. Competition has caught up with Glock a little bit. Like if you look at the PDP or the CZP-10 series, they're pretty cheap. I mean, this comes in at around $650, which is on the high end for guns these days. You can get an M&P for cheaper than that. You can get a CZ or a Walther coming in around the same price as the VP9. They have the grip panels, they have the pre-striker fired trigger. All of those guns come optics ready. And then on top of that, Glock sort of beats this offering with its own offerings. I mean, if you look at something like my Glock 48 here, which I failed to show in my previous video and people were mad about it, so I figured I'd show you I do have a Glock 48. It just doesn't look like a Glock 48 anymore. Safari Precision, Butler cut, and it's got the same sight radius as a 19. It's thinner, it's lighter, it's easier to carry, and then the Shield mags, the 15 round magazine capacity, makes this the same capacity and same capability as a 19, just on Jenny Craig. And I like that a lot. And if you wanted to innovate and you wanted me to get your products, you should have came out with a stock magazine that does this. Everybody else has. SIG has done it, Canik has done it, fucking Taurus has done it. Taurus has a stack and a half magazine. You've been beat by Taurus. Let it sink in. Just wanted to say that. I mean, Ruger has one, Smith obviously has one, that's the one I carry, the M&P Shield Plus. And if Glock would have came to the game with something like this out of the factory, maybe not with the slide cuts and all that shit, but something with a better optics mount, I mean, honestly, the Glock optics mounting system has been in controversy for a long time. The MOS system is known for bending, it's known for breaking, and their solution to that problem was to give you a cheaper cover for it. They didn't upgrade the sights, which have been the same sights since 1986. And they didn't really do anything people really asked them to do. They just did something that was super easy in R&D, something that costs very little, and something that doesn't affect their sales bottom line. And what I mean by that is if they were to introduce an all-new pistol like this that would take a 15-round magazine capacity, have everything somebody needs, all of a sudden people would stop buying these, because what would be the point, right? And they're already the highest selling pistol because of their name, because of their reputation. Most people who don't know anything about firearms, they want to go into a gun store and they want to buy a gun that's reputable and well known and will work. And in fact, that is this. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you get a Glock 19, you are not unarmed. It is an extremely good pistol. It's just a little chunky and a little bit dated. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. Fuck, I still carry 1911 and it's super dated. As long as you can hit the target, that's what matters. But the point I'm trying to make here is it's not innovative. And anybody who says that is full of shit. I really feel like this was just a feeble attempt to sell a few more pistols and delay the inevitable launch of a pistol that's like a stack and a half at some point. That's just me. That's my opinion. What does my opinion matter? I don't really know, but I have shot tens of thousands of rounds through Glocks. I do love them. I just really wish they would give me the pistol that I really wanted and not the one that no one wanted. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your Oklahoma shelters and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.